So this is a presentation on a smart task management and schedule suggestion mobile platform for efficiency improvement using artificial intelligence and machine learning. So there is like a current mental health crisis in the United States where many adults suffer from depression or other just anxiety disorders. This graph helpfully shows that overall around 20% of US adolescents and 8.3% of US adults had at least some major depressive episode in 2021. And this just is like a worrying trend because this has been improving or increasing in recent years. So there are many other online treatment methods, such as online therapists and mindfulness apps and mental health trackers. None of these really do much to actually help the illness other than online therapists. Mindfulness apps are useful to just help like calm down at the end of the day, and mental health trackers are useful for just seeing like when you have a depressive episode or how often you do. My app, IntelliPlan, just is a scheduling app that helps relieve the burden of having to schedule every single task every single day. So IntelliPlan has a fully customizable date and time for the schedule. So you can make tasks here and then select the date and time to select to schedule it as. So you can schedule tasks for in the future, in the past, although I'm not sure why you'd want to schedule in the past, or more normally just for today. And so there's a flexible task creation system, as you can see here. You can input a name, a type for it, what day you want to be done by, so due date, how long it will take, and its priority. So whether you want it to be done like first or last, or just you don't really care. And there's also task description, which is optional, but it is helpful for just knowing what the task is for. So once you enter the app, there is a home page and there is a schedule on there that you can create a new one with the generate schedule button in the bottom right corner. This will be saved and will appear on your homepage every time you launch the app. And in general is just a nice reminder. It is scrollable. You can just see what it is and you can check off tasks in the task screen. So then there's also a basic profile page with user information on it. So as you can see here, my username is Keith. I'm a guy, I'm 17, and I have a biography. This can be several lines. And then you can save it, which will save it to a Firebase server. And you can also sign out, which will sign you out. So this is the flow chart for my app. So you can see here, we start on the home screen that after a few seconds of loading progresses to the login screen, which you can either sign up for a new account, which will store your account into Firebase, or you can log into your old account. So pull from Firebase to authenticate your login information, and then go to the home screen. For the home screen with the generate schedule button, you will make a call to the ChatGPT API, which will then store its sent schedule into Firebase, which will then be pulled back into your home screen as a schedule. In the taskbar, you can see here, there's multiple pages. There's a tasks page, a ranking page, and a profile page. The profile page we just covered, but yeah, the task page, there's an add task button in the bottom right, which will open up the new task screen. And once you do create a new task, it will save it into the Firebase cloud to be pulled onto the task screen again. The ranking page is semi-functional, but is definitely something I wish to improve in the future. It essentially ranks just like what percent of each tasks that the user has completed. And I intended it to be as a competitive system, but I may have to rethink the concept because it could lead to like people realizing, oh, we haven't done that many tasks, or we haven't finished that we haven't finished that many proportion of tasks, which could lead to like just less willingness to do their schedule. So the demo, I'm going to do a live demo because my video software is very poor. So yeah, this is the Flutter app, and I'm just gonna run it. So here you can sign in. I'm just gonna sign into an old testing account. And you can see here, this is the old schedule that I made. Here are the tasks. So this is the daily tasks, which I have none. This is the weekly tasks, which I also have none, and these are all-time tasks. So this is how you mark things as complete. You check them off and they will be marked as complete. And then so you can go here, generate a schedule. I'm gonna have to move this back because there's no task for today. And sometimes it takes a bit, but yeah, so as you can see, there's quite a few tasks for today because I was testing how many it could handle, but it works and there's a lot of tasks. And then you can hit this button down here, which saves the schedule, and it will be on your home screen for you to scroll through and just mark off whenever. Okay, now we'll go back to the PowerPoint now. Okay, so these are my experiments, which was mostly examining the consistency of my app and how well it worked. So as you can see in the top right, this is how like consistently it worked with 5 tasks of varying lengths, all with an average length of 0.5 hours across all 5 of them. And you can see it scheduled all the tasks pretty like scheduled all the tasks 12 out of 20 times, which isn't the best consistency. A lot of them, 5 of them were due to ChatGPT responding in the wrong format, which is contrary to the prompt I gave it. And then 3 times were because ChatGPT just missed a task somewhere. But of the times that I did schedule, it was the task durations were accurate 13 out of 14 times, which sorry, 13 out of 15 times, which was quite good. So that's a pretty high proportion and I think is adequate for satisfying the user. And then adding breaks in was done 9 times, which is quite interesting. So this was not in my prompt actually. ChatGPT did this automatically, and I thought it was a nice feature. So I decided to measure how often, how consistently it did this. So it did this pretty often. It gave breaks 13 times out of 15, which is again quite high. So as you can see, these time I tried all even times, and then I tried with one hour tasks and a couple quarter-hour tasks, and then just slowly incrementing those tasks so that they are more spread out. So then my second experiment was examining how many tasks ChatGPT could schedule, essentially. So I basically just ran 0.5 hour tasks until it broke, basically. So when it would give an error, I would rerun that number of tasks again and it would see if it would work. If it didn't run it 3 times in a row, then I would stop the program. So here you can see I ran it with 30-minute tasks, 60-minute tasks, and 90-minute tasks. So with the 30-minute tasks, it managed to make it to 16 tasks scheduled, which is very high actually. I don't think there's any use case necessarily where you would need 16 tasks scheduled, so I think that's more than enough For 60-minute tasks, it made it to 9 tasks or 10 tasks, which is again quite high. That is 9 hours of tasks, and I think is sufficient. And then for 90-minute tasks, it made it to 6 tasks, which is still quite enough, I think. So yeah. And then this is the percent accuracy chart. So 60-minute tasks were 100% accurate until it failed. 30-minute tasks were around 90-ish% accurate until it ran into the error of having a token limit from ChatGPT. 90-minute tasks were a bit less with around 75% accuracy and consistency. So there are similar applications on the market. For example, there's Clockwise, which is similar in concept to an AI, which is also an AI scheduler, but it's made for large businesses. So it's made for scheduling and managing like thousands of users and juggling their schedules at once. And it also costs money, whereas my app is free. And Scheduler.ai is also an online scheduler, but it's an automatic booking tool for scheduling meetings in like Google Calendars and other calendar apps. So it's not a calendar on its own, it's just something to help you create a schedule or create a task item more easily, essentially. So my app is different in that it both integrates a way to schedule tasks with an actual schedule on your screen, and it's also free and for an individual user, not for juggling a massive corporation. So the current implementation is a minimum viable product. It lacks advanced features, and I used Flutter, Firebase, and ChatGPT for this. Firebase as a cloud and ChatGPT as a thing that actually generates the schedule. And then for future development, I want a cleaner like user interface. I want to refine the task screen so that it shows you a more detailed description when you click on an individual task. And I want an easier adjustment of individual events on the scheduling page so you can rearrange them to see what fits you. I also want to enable locking an item so it's not scheduled or it's scheduled at a fixed time no matter what. And I want to make it so you as a user can set like time slots for availability on your schedule. So when you want things to be scheduled and when you can actually do things. So in conclusion, IntelliPlan helps ease the task of deciding on a schedule and makes it so people spend less time agonizing over decisions like, should I do this first or should I do that first? And this just helps you like decide which how to do this basically. If you have questions, concerns, that's my email, and there's the code repository on GitHub. Thank you for your time.